What's up, people? I'm Xogue, back on Project Ozone 3. We have a demon cow. There's the demon cow. I see you revealing yourself. Anyway, so today what I wanted to do is actually remedy a situation that I don't know how to I'm not sure how to word that, but basically I want to gather all these crops together, put them in one plot, and then hook up a farmer. And I want to get another one if I can, and actually start getting a bunch of the essence seeds going. And I don't know how. I think what we need to do is actually... See, I like these little plots. These are tiny little plots. These were going to be the inferium ones. Maybe I'll still make them the inferium ones. But there could be so much more room. Like, I could extend this further, because what do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, this is only half a farm. It's a little less than half a farm, technically, because we would have the water source right here, and then we'd have all that farmland on both sides, and then the rest of it, the another 4 layers. Like, we could have that all over the place. Now, I know that I'm sacrificing some crop areas because of our separators here, and I'm okay with that for the regular crops like these. But the ones with the inferium, you're going to need a lot of inferium, so it's actually good if you don't just have it in a huge... If you do actually have it in a huge plot and just harvest it that way and gain a whole lot of stuff. But I don't know. I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to work this. I do know that I'm going to end up gathering all the seeds together. And so if I move all of these into the same plot, say this one over here, we can hook one farmer up to farm all of our seeds, all of the ones that we have so far, to get all of the essences. And then we could use this one over here and actually just lay the dirt out here and actually use this entire plot for inferium. I don't know what these guys are going to be used for yet. If you have any ideas, let me know, because they are smaller and I like the idea of keeping them that way because it mixes things up. And if I were to extend them out this way, then part of it would be hidden behind the farm, which isn't necessarily a terrible or bad thing. It would just look a bit off. And I would like to avoid that if I can. And it doesn't even have to stay farmland either. It can be some other kind of element. Maybe we'll put some kind of statues here, maybe? Or some other kind of mod thing from another mod that could be good. I don't really know. But yeah, just let me know what you think. And we'll end up... eventually we'll have... You know, each crop will have its own quadrant. And we'll probably have 2. One inferium over here and another inferium over here. Both of them being automatically farmed. So we get huge amounts of the inferium essence. And then we'll start with each of the crops. We'll have, you know, these scattered out down the hallway. If you can consider it that or whatever. Anyway, so what we need to do is hook up a few things. All right, there's a few things we need to do in order to get that going. And one of which is that I would like more power storage. It's not necessary for what we want to do, but it is going to help keep the farmers on all the time in case we start drawing too much power from over here. So I wanted to go ahead and get some capacitors. I don't know how many we're going to get. I know these guys right here go up to, and they can store 1 million. I would like to get at least the 5 million. If not the 25 million. I feel like we could probably do this. I think we can. I think we have some emeralds because we can do the vibrant alloy. That we can do. It's actually not that difficult to get because I've already done it before for the power thingy things. So we can do that. We just need 2 of those to 2 of those. So we actually need, what, 4? I don't know. We need a bunch of these guys, basically. We need a lot of the smaller ones. A bunch of energetic, double layer capacitors, basic capacitors, void, pulverized coal. We can do that as well. I think we can do all of this, guys. I think we can. So, yeah. But this is our issue right here, is the grains of infinity. And it's not a big issue, mind you. It's really not a big issue, but I wanted to point something out. Something I did at the beginning of the series... for some reason cannot talk properly today, that is now going to be useful. And that is, I marked where our bedrock is. A lot of people don't do this. They just build right over top of it. And then when they need it for something, they're like, oh crap. Oh crap, where was that thing at? And then they'll put a water source down and they'll swim down and be like, oh, it's about right there. And then they'll dig up like half of their platform around this area and be like, oh, I found it. Okay, there it is. Me, I knew exactly where it was because I marked it in the beginning of the series. It's very important. Something to keep in mind. But basically, in order to get Grains of Infinity, you actually just light bedrock on fire. Apparently, you can do fire water too, and fire water works as well. And I'm thinking fire water doesn't disappear after a while. And I think that's why, because if we take a look at the Grains of Infinity, like this right here. So see, this guy is a 50% chance. And I'm pretty sure that means once the fire goes out, like that, it's a 50% chance. So you have to keep lighting it on fire to see if you get it. And you'll get, you'll get them slowly. This is less than 2%, but I'm pretty sure that's 2% like every once in a while, like 2% per 5 seconds or something, because I don't think it would use the fire water up. I think it would just keep going and going and going. And wow, we are getting very unlucky with this. Come on, 50%. Be on my side for a change. Now, I'm not too incredibly worried about how long this is going to take to get some of these. We could use, I don't know, we could be here for a little while, but I don't need to worry about getting a huge quantity of these. I only need to worry about getting 4 of them so we can get the seeds. Okay, and once we get 4 of them, I can get 1 seeds. I can do my little watering can and get as many of them as I need. And this is not seeming to work. It says it would work. Am I just really that unfortunate? That's 3 times in a row the 50% has not been on my side. It's kind of ridiculous. But anyway, so I wanted to go ahead. I'm going to see, hopefully get some of this stuff here soon. This is really not cool. That's like terrible. Why is that happening? But I don't know. Anyway, so you get the idea. I'm just going to see if I can find a way to get the capacitors. If I can do that, then we're going to be okay. And if not, then I'm going to have to, I don't know. I don't really need the extra storage, but I wanted to go ahead and start storing some. There. Oh, that it happened. 50% was on our side. Finally. I was beginning to worry that they like disabled that recipe or something. But you get the idea. Let me go ahead and get some of this stuff together. Don't mind me. Just standing in fire. Something absolutely amazing just happened. Except for the fact that I just ate. Okay, so I broke all of these guys. I did get my Grains of Infinity seeds. That's fine. But I want to point something out to you. You guys know, well, if you've been paying attention, you know, that I have been getting a very particular number of seeds the entire time. And that the only one that was ever more than 3 was nature, which is now 5. And we have 4, 4, 4, 4. We are gaining seeds, which is absolutely epic. And let me tell you why. Number 1, in the configs of Mystical Agriculture, there is a setting, there is a config option that most packs disable, or more accurately, they put down to 0% chance. And that is to gain extra seeds when you break the crop. Now, that said, crops, if you grow it, hold on, let me see if I can like do this real quick. There is a difference, okay? There is a difference between, as soon as this thing loads up all the way, I'm trying to show you, but it's refusing to do what it needs to do here. Come on, grow all the way, keep going, there, oh. Between right-clicking, which you just saw, and breaking the crop, okay? That's why we weren't gaining seeds before. You actually have to break it by punching it just like that. And that's why I figured this out. That's why I found this out now and not earlier. Is because this is the first time that I moved all of the crops, and I plan to move them all into the same place so that farming them can be done with 1 machine rather than like 4. So that's just kind of a deal. And it's very, very cool as well. So this is absolutely amazing. This is so cool. I am glad that they added that in. So now we can actually get full plots of these seeds without having to like craft them again. We just gain them over time, which means we only need to make 1 of each seed. Only 1 of each seed needs to be made, including the Grains of Infinity, and eventually we will get more and more and more, and they will basically just reproduce themselves, and we can save all of our what is it called, that other stuff that we need to get, the shoot, I forget what it's called. Hold on, the seeds. These guys, the prosperity shards. We can save those for one of each type of seed. And we don't need to waste them in making extras of each type of crop. We can make one of each crop and then just hope we get lucky enough to gain extra seeds pretty quickly. And then we can just grow. We can just grow from there. And it's going to be absolutely amazing. I'm so happy about that. I'm so happy about that. It makes me ecstatic. But the only deal with that is that when we do want to grow them, when we finally want to get extra crops of each, we will have to go through and manually do it, because farmers and even us, if we right click on the crop, they don't break it completely, they just harvest. And there's a difference between harvest and break, which is what I just told you about. So we're going to have to do it ourselves, but that's okay. I can live with that. And I might even do that a little bit here for things like iron and coal, a couple of the other ones, maybe even the dye seeds actually. But I'm thinking Certus quartz, we're going to do that too. Maybe some redstone, obsidian probably, and probably iron. Probably those three. Iron, redstone, and Certus quartz. I don't know. The dye and the obsidian, probably not so much. We probably won't need too many of those resources really, but I think it'd be cool to have them. So I don't know. I think I might just go do that for a little while, and just to see how many of those I can actually get, just to prove my point. You see that we only have one of each at the moment. Let's see if we can get more. And that is confirmed. Look, hold on. Let's just go ahead and break all these just so you can see. We started with one of each, right? It hasn't even been that long. Let me tell you, it has not even been that long. We already have 4 redstone, 5 iron, and 6 Certus quartz. That is some cool stuff right there. Let me tell you. So we can duplicate. It sounds bad. It's like I'm cheating, and I'm not. It's just part of the game mechanics, but it is so cool. I'm so glad that they did that. You have no idea how glad I am that they did that. So the thing is, once we get a new seed, after we have the means to actually create as many farmers and as much power and everything as we want, we're going to basically do this thing. Basically, I just put this in my offhand. I shift right click on a crop, right? And it makes it work. So then I can just kind of keep going around like so and be like, oh, okay, you're growing, punch it, and I can freely scroll through here without affecting the water bucket's ability to grow things. So as I'm going around planting, things are just growing faster and faster. And I can do this for as long as I need to get as much as I need. This is basically just what I did, and I just kind of want. It's cool. Oh, we got another one. Okay, this plot's full. Hold on. Okay, but yeah, once we actually, that's so cool. I love that is actually working out like that. But now that we can do that, we can just fill up and get, what is this? 4 times 4, right? So 16 of each seed. Which is going to be plenty. We're going to get plenty of essence from that, especially with growth accelerators, which we're eventually going to grab and get. So 16 of each seed is what we're going to have. And once we do that, we're going to plant them all, and then we're going to have our harvesters or farmers or whatever block we choose just gather the essences and throw them into probably storage drawers that are fully upgraded with emerald levels, so we can get like, I don't know, 40 stacks or more. No, probably more than that actually. It's like over 100 stacks or some, I don't know, some crazy number of these things. And that's just the idea. That's what we're going to go with. The hammer I don't need. You go there. 3 and 4 and we're good. Okay. Anyway, that's just something that's really cool. I'm just so happy about that. And the same with the inferium seeds too. I could probably do it with them as well, and I probably will to like a huge degree. So we're going to fill these, I don't know. I think I'm going to try to walk up the inferium seeds as much as I can here. Okay, so if we get, oh, that's tier 6 inferium seeds. We can't quite get that. But I want to go immediately to as high as I possibly can. Probably tier 3, I think, is about as far as we're going to be able to get. And then once I get one tier 3, I think you have to use tier 2 to get tier 3. We can actually... yeah, and we should be able to walk up the seeds as we're duplicating them. And yeah, I'm just going to go as high as I can with those. And once I get up to tier whatever, I'm going to try to go ahead and plant those. We're just going to see where we get to. I'm just going to do a lot of stuff with inferium seeds specifically right now. All right, so we've made some progress, and it turns out you actually do get the seeds from right-clicking. I don't know if that's the case with these crops too. I feel like it probably is, and maybe we just didn't right-click on them enough when they were by themselves. But I feel like I right-clicked on them a lot, and mainly the Assertiscord seeds. So maybe you can't get the extra seeds from right-clicking on these, but you can from these. I don't know. But for whatever reason, or whatever the case is that we did not get the extra seeds before, we are getting them now. And we can populate our crops and everything. I don't believe there was an update to the pack, but maybe there was. I did not change the configs. This is still default configs, which is, if you've been around a while, you guys know that I like to keep things default as much as possible, because it is how the pack is intended to be played, and that is important to me, to play it that way. But regardless, that's a thing. Now, the setup that I've got going on right now is actually very, very cool. I didn't realize the crafters were so easy to get. And I'm going to show you that here in a minute. But basically, we have the tier 3 seeds. I'm going to go all the way up to the supremium seeds, the ones that give us the most inferium essence right away. And we're going to go all the way. I might even try to get the tier 6 version. It's possible. It'll take a lot of time, but it is entirely possible. So what we've got here are the analog crafters, okay? Analog. These guys are fairly cheap. A chest, a crafting table, and a lever. So easy to get, and they just auto-craft. It does take a little bit of time. They have a little progress bar. It's not super fast. Actually, I can show you this. Really. You see how fast it goes. But as it's going, we have our transfer things that are putting it into the next one. And then the next one will go, bam, and then beak. And then it'll go to the next one, and then it'll go to the next one, and then we're going to have it go all the way to the end. I have not gotten any Supremium Essence yet. I'm actually collecting the Supremium Essence so that I can get the last infusion crystal that I need, and the better seeds as well, so we get more of this stuff faster. I think I'm going to do the seed first. But just one of those things. We can go all the way to the end, and I will have to add another crafter if I want to get the tier 6. But right now, we can get the tier 5. And the other thing about getting this so quickly, getting all the way to the Supremium Essence, is that we can also look at the armor and other things. The weapons, Tinker stuff, actually makes these weapons so much better, which we'll look into in the future. But right now, just know that they are definitely better. 16 attack versus 7 attack, and all of the other weapons will get similar upgrades with almost double or 3 times the quality, which is really good. And I could probably just replace the parts, so I can keep ecological, which you get with Bloodwood, which is really cool, and I can also gain the effects of these guys here. So it's gonna be pretty cool. But the armor is a big thing. If you get the full set, you get flight, which I really want to get. Obviously, for obvious reasons, I really want to fly. The problem is not getting these guys. I can actually set up those crafters, set up more of them, mind you, but I can set them up to give me these automatically. I can go all the way and just gain these 100%. It doesn't even matter. I can get the Wither Skeleton Skulls. I will farm them as much as necessary, and I might even have a lot of them as it is. Nether Stars. I already have the Nether Stars. I already have 4 of them, 4 armor slots. We're getting those from the patient bags, and we're already there. The problem is the crafting table itself is very difficult to get. Not the compressed obsidian. Easy enough. We can work on that. Not the lava infused in crystals. We can work on this too to get the lava infuser. Not the most complicated thing in the world. This is. There's more of those, the infusion crystals. Here is the Witherbone, which we've already got a bunch of because we've killed a lot of Wither Skeletons. That's why I think I might already have the skulls. These 2 right here. We need to figure out how to kill Guardians, and we need to kill Ender Dragons or Ender Zombies. I don't know. These are dropped from Ender Dragon Zombies. If we can find out how to spawn and kill those 2 particular mobs, we can grind out enough of these guys to get the Ulti-Tech bench and get flight from the Supremium. And all I will have to do is set up a little bit and then just wait a long time. It'll take a long time, but that's all I'll have to do is just wait a while. That's it. And we're going to be just fine. Oh, the crystal broke. So, I don't know. It's just one of those things. I wanted to show that stuff to you. We're going to be doing a little bit of stuff. I'm going to keep grinding out. I'm going to see how far I can get with the Supremium Essence, see how much of this stuff I can get. I'd really like to get the best infusion crystal, but I don't think I can. I'm pretty sure the best infusion crystal just requires things that I can't get yet. Yeah, from Lordcraft, which I don't even know how to get into. It seems like a circle, because if you go all the way in here, you got to get the book. This guy right here, in order to make this, you need the book. But in order to get the book, you need the crystals. And in order to get the crystals, you have to make this. You have to use this. In order to make that, you need the bench. So it's like a vicious circle of things that you just can't quite get. And all of it requires research. So there's got to be a way to break into it, but I don't know how yet. I need to do more research on it. But anyway, you get the idea. I'm just going to grind out a bunch. We're going to see how far I can get. I wanted to show you what was happening, though. So the next clip, I did just all of a sudden have something amazing or awesome or whatever. All right. Well, the farmer was not that difficult to get, and I've even hooked it directly into our analog crafters here, which is really, really fantastic. We have not gotten all the way that far yet, so don't think I've gotten any like massive amounts of anything yet. We haven't even gotten enough supremium essence to do much with. So our biggest issue, I believe, right now is that these aren't growing fast enough. And since we're not actually... What? Why you... What? Give me a hoe. Since we're not actually growing them fast enough, and our episode isn't really quite that far yet, we might as well go ahead and see if we can quickly figure out some way to increase the speed of the crops. So what I wanted to do is I absolutely love the growth crystals, okay? They're not the easiest thing to get into in this pack, apparently, but I'm going to show you about them. We're going to see if I can figure it out. I'm going to do a little bit of research, okay? Because I need Lordcraft for a lot of different things. So if I can figure out how to get into this, then I should be able to make a few of these guys initially, okay? So any stone, we need like certain researches and stuff, but I'm not exactly sure how to do this because the book is not gettable without it. It's a simple crystal. I have a feeling we have to find these somewhere. If we can find them, because we can make them, and this is actually green, requires crystallization research. Void Forge, Cyclic Forge? No, because that requires that. And we need the Mana Infused Stone. We need those for some stuff too. Actually, the highest tier growth or infusion crystal. But these guys right here, there has to be another way to get them so that way I can get the book. There's got to be. I just got to figure out what that is. So after accepting all of the quests, or not accepting, but like actually claiming all of the rewards from all the quests, I have a lot of rack now. I don't know what in the world I'm going to do with all of it, but I have it. Perhaps we should take a little bit of a look. And also, I think this might be, this might be a long thing. I'm not entirely sure. I do have plenty of rack, but I don't have the blaze rods. But I kind of want to get this guy. Even though, I mean, we got looting, and I think it's unbreakable and everything. I want to get this so badly. Even though it's just a sword, I feel like it's not even going to be used all that often, because our sword is, well, right here. But I feel like it's going to be pretty good. I think we should probably go ahead and get it. But I just need the blaze rods, which means I just need to go to the nether, I guess, and farm enough of them. I don't know. But whatever. Doesn't really matter too much. I'm going to go ahead and put this guy... I was going to put it on the side, but the torch is in the way. Go ahead and do this, I guess. And then we'll just put this right here. Okay. So that way I have a hoe, like, kind of ready. By the way, if you don't know how to do that, that's Draconic Evolution. It's one of my favorite things that they do. It's really, 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 really cool. I love hanging stuff on the side like that. Anyway, so today's episode might go a little bit long, and the reason for that is because I did figure out, I think, how to get into Lordcraft. And the way we do this is actually, if we go through somewhere down in here, it says, in one of these things, I forget which one it was. Am I too far? I think I'm too far. There it is. Okay. You see right here, simple crystals are gotten, and you see it requires Twilight Forest. So we have to go into the Twilight Forest, which requires the nether, which I've already been to the nether. So I don't know why it requires the nether, but you have to backtrack it all the way, and something in the nether is going to give us access. Oh, right here. So I have to make the cake, and an overworld cake. The normal way to get to the nether, You could also fall off your island and possibly survive to get to the nether, but it's a recommended way to use. So basically, I have to make the cakes, even though I don't need them. Oh, that's cool. What is this? Send you back to the overworld? That's cool. That would have been handy a long time ago. But then you will use the overworld cakes fed with saplings to get back to the overworld from the nether. So basically, they just want you to make the cakes. After we make the cakes, we'll be good. And I can go ahead and see about getting to the Twilight Forest. I got to do a lot of stuff, actually, in order to make these cakes. Let me show you this real quick so you understand the severity of it. I need a cake. That makes sense. In order to get a cake, I need an egg. I don't have any chickens yet. And I need cows for milk. Which means I got some work to do because I need to get grass out over yonder far enough away so mobs can actually spawn. And then I have to wait long enough for a chicken and a cow to spawn. Then we can actually make this cake because that's what I need to make a cake. And we can work on it because I don't see any other option here. We need the milk. We need the egg. It's kind of a thing. Or at the very, apparently cake base you can do, but that's just, you still need an egg. So you get the idea. Overworld cake is about the same. It's just a cake with saplings instead. And after I make those two, we'll check out what we need for the Twilight Forest. But when I come back, we're probably going to have some kind of a grass area. Fairly big one, because I need this to happen pretty quick. Over yonder. And I think I might actually go ahead and use one of our 4 nether stars to make an unbreakable builder's wand. Just to make it a lot easier. I didn't realize that wither skeletons actually spawned in this thing. I mean, it makes sense. Like, I probably realized it at some point, some subconscious level. But just because of the thing that I'm building over there, which is not done yet. I got the grass growing and I need to finish putting in the dirt. But I wanted to bring it back in for this because I kind of derped. I forgot that we actually do get wither skeletons over here. We probably have a whole bunch of wither skeleton skull. Oh, we only have 8? Wow, that's actually pretty surprising. I really thought we'd have a lot more than 8. Like, really? But, I mean, it is what it is. I guess they're, you know, I'm going to go ahead and do that so I put everything away. But, yeah, I mean, we're getting them. 9 is only a few withers. It's enough, I guess, but sheesh. I really thought we'd have more. But I forgot we actually got them from there. But anyway, it doesn't matter. We do have plenty of those bones that I mentioned. We got everything but the Guardian and the Ender Dragon scales or something that you can also apparently get from Ender Zombies. I don't know how to get those, but I really do want to figure it out. Big changes. Okay? Big changes are happening. We'll get into that in a minute. Over here, as you can see, in the beginning of the episode, I told you that I wanted to get this stuff over here automated. I wanted to make sure I could find a way to get everything going for us without too much trouble. And then midway through, I said I wanted to find a way to boost crop growth since we had a little bit of time left and we started going down the path of Lordcraft. But it turns out we didn't need to go that far. Now, we're still going to go down Lordcraft eventually in the future, but it'll have to be for a different goal because we're good to go with this stuff now. And those growth crystals are certainly better if used in larger quantities, but we don't need them right now because we're good. And the reason for that is because the tier 2 growth crystal uses lily pads of fertility, and as soon as I saw those, I remembered them. And I was like, you know what? We could just use those. And it is working wonders. I didn't know they were this strong. Which is why we were going to go all the way to the growth crystals today. But it turns out growth crystals are a lot further away than I thought. Because of the fact that we needed some mobs. Now I built this thing out over here. And it is working. I do have a couple of chickens. And I do have a couple of sheep. Which sheep aren't needed for this particular purpose. But they will be needed in the future, I'm sure. Our problem is the milk. Milk comes from cows, but we have the Moo Fluids mod, and I did not know that. So if we use a bucket on one of those, we're not going to get milk, we're going to get something else. So it's going to take a lot longer to spawn a regular cow into this world for me to actually get milk from. We can also get it from the cow essence, but we need to go through and actually kill tier 1 or tier 2 mobs, smelt their chunks, in order to get You know, a drop chance 25%. Sure, it says craftable. Tier 2 mob chunk, tier 1 mob chunk. But yeah, but you can make it from a tier 1 mob chunk. But we need the tier 1 or tier 2 mob chunks. We need to smelt them to get the regular version so we can turn them into cow chunks in order to actually get this for all that. It's just a big process, and it's a lot more difficult than you might think to get those chunks. Although, hold on, where's my sword? I want to get a chunk. This guy right here, he gave us a chunk. Maybe. Hey, you. Where are you going, anyway? These guys just, like, they're not tracking right. Something is up with these guys, for real. Did we get a chunk? I don't think we got a chunk from them. We didn't. And you don't get a chunk from every single one of these guys either, as you just saw. So it's very weird, very odd on how to get that working. So what we are going to do it. We need it for some of the further on stuff, including the Master Crystal and some other things. We need to get into Lordcraft, and I know how to do it now. And we are going to get there, but not now. Right now we're done. Because look at these numbers. I'm good. Like, granted, I could very easily use all of these in one thing. But by the time I actually get to that point, I'm going to have even more. And it's just... we're going to be good to go. We obviously do want to speed this up. But as you can see, we have 10 of these guys already. I really don't need to. Just a few minutes ago, I had 7. I'm getting that many. 11. We're at 11 now. So we're getting these really, really, really quick. And these aren't even fully updated yet. I need to get these up to... I need to get use of some of these Supremiums to actually turn these into tier 5 so that we can get it even faster. Hopefully get to the next tier and do what we got to do. So what I'm going to end up doing, I believe, in between episodes, is I want to do a massive redesign of the whole area. Again, granted, this whole stuff over here is going to stay, but I want to extend these farms down, move all of this stuff out of the way, and put it in the middle somewhere, so that way it's not in the way. Probably move the power somewhere more centralized, and maybe even find a way to move it down or up or on top of the farm, or just somewhere out of the way. And I don't know if we can find a way to move it around wirelessly or not, but I really do want to. But I'm just going to redesign a whole bunch of stuff. I'm going to try to make even more seeds now that we have a way to get huge amounts of Inferium Essence. Probably end up going to the Nether at some point. Yeah, there's a skeleton. I'm going to try to get a mob chunk from him. We're going to go to the Nether at some point and get even more Prosperity Shards so we can make even more seeds. And I'm going to go as far as I possibly can with these. You've seen me make seeds before. You've seen me make these plots. So in the next episode, if we are really far along and I have a whole lot of seeds, you'll know why. You'll know where they came from. And everything's going to be fantastic. So, yeah. But in the meantime, that is about all the time I have for the episode. If you liked it, please do hit that like button and subscribe to see more. Thank you so much for watching. Do what you do. And also join the Discord. I got a link in the description for Discord channel. If you're this far into the video and you're still watching, please do click that button. Join the fun. Yeah, it's a good time. We're trying to make sure that thing stays active, and I need more people there. So come on, help us, keep the conversation going. It'll be really, really, really cool to hang out with you guys. So just go ahead and do that. Anyway, the link in the description for Twitter, Discord, Patreon, a donate thing, and other stuff. I don't know. Go check it out. But anyway, yeah, that's about all the time I got. So peace out, peeps.